Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is, whenever this video is finding you, wherever you are in the cosmos. Welcome to Kai Chi Alchemy. You can call me Katchi. This is a space of love, y'all. Welcome or welcome back. I want to thank y'all for showing up. Thank you for co-creating community with me. Thank you for all of those likes, shares, subscribes, engagements of all kinds. Thank you so much. Happy July. I am tuning in from the States, and I think in Canada they have like their Independence Day. Canada Day's like also somewhere in early July. And what is today in America? It is a day about the energy of freedom and independence, right? And so if there's other places that are celebrating their Independence Days as well, isn't the Independence Day in Mexico Cinco de Mayo? So just in general, this whole winter time period, or this whole summer time period, we celebrate, at least in North America, a whole lot of independence events, you know? And freedom and independence from what? Independence from some kind of negative, oppressive regime that we came out of, right? Something that we were fighting against, right? Something that we freed ourselves from, right? But in finding our independence as Americans, and finding our independence as Canadians, and finding our independence anywhere, it's just simply stating that we are no longer submissive towards and dependent upon this external energy. So it's like what we're not. It's the energy of growing up. It's the energy of becoming an adult. It's the energy of being a man. It's the energy of self-differentiation. But there's a certain level, there's another step to this self-differentiation. Yes, we want to distance ourselves from the institutions and the organizations that we don't align with, right? On a big, grand level. And we have done that. But if we just then become identified with this American egregore, if we just re-identify with something else that puts our power outside of ourselves, that's an issue. I don't particularly think that like the "In God We Trust" and the how did they change the anthem? One Nation Under God, all of that. I don't think necessarily that the people that tried to put those elements into the traditions, into the way that we speak, I don't think that they did that coming from a place of supporting sovereignty and wanting to encourage people to connect to the God within and put that above any kind of like patriotism and identification with the state. So I think there's a lot of questions here in the energy today about what does freedom mean to you? What does independence mean to you? And how do you go about that? How do you go to the next level? How do you actually find independence? Not just from the state that our current state is running away from, but how do you find independence in a true, sustainable, lasting, deep, genuine way? It's when you come back into coherence with yourself. It's when you connect to your heart and your soul, when you connect to the God within. So I guess happy 4th of July if you're celebrating, if you like to connect with people, if you like the food and you enjoy fireworks and whatever. Even if you are a big American patriot, I don't really care too much. I I feel like what we all need, no matter who you are, is for you to find that self differentiation, find that personal responsibility, find that unshakable truth within you to allow you to know how to set those boundaries, which forces to push against and declare your freedom and independence from, right? And that's going to look different for all of us, even if from one person to the next, living in the same state, right? So we're going to do a really short reading from the next section of the continuum concept right here. Happy Cancer season, coming up towards the last half of it. Cancer Leo. Oh, Cancer Leo cusp in conjunction with Jupiter in Leo. So we're having a big expansion of our emotions, of our needs. We're getting very clear on our identity. And our identity as a child, Leo, of God or the mother, Cancer. You don't have to fight the mother to differentiate from the mother. Depending on the energy, just the self-differentiation itself may be interpreted as fighting, but you know better. Aletheia may be significant to some of y'all. May want to check out that reading. All right. Here we go. So this starts on page 11. And it's from the chapter, How My Ideas Were So Radically Changed. If you'd like to watch the previous sections, you can go ahead and find those in the Continuum Concept playlist in the playlist section. All right. Another hint about human nature and work came later. 2 Indian families lived in a hut overlooking a magnificent white beach, a lagoon in a wide crescent of rocks, the Caroni and Arapuchi Falls beyond. One pater familias was called Pepe, the other Caesar. It was Pepe who told the story. It seems that Caesar had been adopted by Venezuelans when very young and had gone to live with them in a small town. He was sent to school, learned to read and write, and was reared as a Venezuelan. When he was grown, he came, like many of the men of those Guyanese towns, to the upper Caroni to try his luck at diamond hunting. He was working with a group of Venezuelans when he was recognized by Mundo, chief of the Tarupans at Guayparu. Were you not taken to live with Jose Grande? Mundo asked. I was brought up by Jose Grande, said Cesar, according to the story. Then you have come back to your own people. You are a Taripan, said Mundo. Whereupon Caesar, after a great deal of thought, decided that he would be better off living as an Indian than as a Venezuelan, and came to Arapuchi, where Pepe lived. For 5 years, Caesar lived with Pepe's family, marrying a pretty Tarapan woman and becoming the father of a little girl. As Caesar did not like to work, he and his wife and daughter ate the food grown on Pepe's plantation. Caesar was delighted to find that Pepe did not expect him to clear a garden of his own or even help with the work in his. Pepe enjoyed working, and since Caesar did not, The arrangement suited everyone. Caesar's wife liked joining the other women and girls in cutting and preparing the cassava to eat, but all Caesar liked was hunting, tapir, and occasionally other game. After a couple of years, he developed a taste for fishing and added his catches to those of Pepe and his two sons, who always liked to fish and who had supplied his family as generously as their own. Just before we arrived, Caesar decided to clear a garden of his own, and Pepe helped with every detail, from choosing the site to felling and burning the trees. Pepe enjoyed it all the more because he and his friends talked and joked the whole time. Caesar, after 5 years of assurance, felt that no one was pushing him into the project and was as free to enjoy working as Pepe or any other Indian. Everyone in Arapuchi was glad, Pepe told us, because Caesar had been growing discontented and irritable. He wanted to make a garden of his own, Pepe laughed, but he didn't know it himself. Pepe thought it hilarious that anyone should not know that he wanted to work. Man, how appropriate. I love this. It's such a tiny section, but it's so relevant. Keep in mind, this book was written quite a while ago, and I really appreciate when people don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, and they understand that, when things are written in a certain time, when people say things like Oriental or Indian, it does not mean the same thing to them that it means to us. And if we can get past these things a little bit, then it can be really beneficial to gain the deeper meaning and understand what she's really trying to say. And it's interesting here, the reflections on like identity and allegiance and freedom and work and value that come in here. Like, somebody decided that, they didn't vibe with the people they grew up with. They didn't want that. They wanted to be adopted by these Venezuelans. And by exploring that and learning the things that he had to learn from that experience, he was able to figure out, what attracted him to it, what he did like about it, what he did want from that experience. And then also was able to look at his roots and his, opportunities to go back into those rituals and routines and, I was going to say institutions, but not even really, just, those structures that they have there. But this is the thing about the tribe that she's studying here, is from the adults to the children, everybody involved, there is this respect for their humanity. There's this respect for their freedom, for their individuality, for their soul, for their, When Pepe moved in with Caesar, it worked out because Pepe enjoyed the work and Caesar enjoyed not having to work. And it took that pressure off of him. And so we can live in environments where we're not all doing the same thing and we don't all have the same expectations. We don't all have the same needs. We don't all have the same abilities. And so we meet each other where we are. And sometimes that looks like what somebody would say is like an unfair dynamic. But everybody was happy there. And as long as everybody is respecting your freedom and your autonomy to the same degree that you are respecting other people's freedom and autonomy, as long as you are standing up for your needs and desires, just as much as you expect other people to stand up for their needs and desires, then you're actually able to do these things where You help and you give for the love of it. You work for the love of it. And it's not that you're taken advantage of, because you know when to say, oh, this isn't feeling good, this isn't working for me. So everybody has this kind of depth of respect for nature, for the cues of your soul, of your intuition, a deep respect for desire, a deep respect for the wisdom inherent in human beings, in our gut feelings, in our desires, in our emotions. There's so much diversity in the way that people express themselves in an environment where a lot of people would assume that it's very backwards, very you know, when people say, make this country great again, and people get all icked out by that whole concept. Because they're like, no, the past was bad and we just keep progressing into this golden age. That's some kind of delusional thinking and pie in the sky. But it's not about having a lack of running water, having a lack of understanding of like surgical implements and opportunities for how to like help people with emergency medicine and it's not about that stuff. We can have that stuff too if we want. But there are things that have been lost in the cultures and the tribes and the nations and the groups of people of the past. And it's not just in self-sufficiency on like a practical level. It's a spiritual difference. It's the spiritual difference of people birthed in non-Rockefeller obstetric environments. There's that. But yeah, people birthed and grown and growing up alongside people that not only espouse this like respect for freedom, for individuality, for meeting life on life's terms and being open-minded and there is a spiritual difference between people of the past and the people of today, in a wide reaching, super, you know, making generalizations type of way. And we have to make generalizations sometimes to even talk about life, because generalizations are always partially inaccurate, right? Hello. Yes, absolutely. What question would you like for me to pull some cards on? Yeah. You know we have emojis, right? Sometimes I use the letters too. That's fun stuff. Okay, well, I think that while I'm waiting for people to get their questions together, I'm going to pull a little bit from the Light Seers Tarot. Feels appropriate, feels like fireworks, right? Giannis. Okay. I'm assuming probably a lover's situation, but could be any number of things. When you say this year, probably 2026, maybe within the next 12 months, something like that. Janus. And returning in a physical sense, I would assume. Okay. Spirit, can I please have a card, a message for Spiritual 2026 Joyful? Please, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Will Janus be returning as a physical presence in their life within this next year? Is this something that they can prepare for mentally or practically? Is this something that they should know? Is this something that they would make better decisions around if they were able to process and prepare for this situation before it comes to pass? Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. What is the energy that Janus is in presently? What is the energy that Janus will be in when they are ready to move forward? And will they move forward when they are ready to move forward? And in what way will they show up if they move forward when they are ready to move forward? In what energy will they show up? Okay, here we go. So, at the base, we got the devil. There may be some sort of Capricorn placements relevant to you or to Janus. They may just have that kind of vibe in general. It can be obsessive. It can be like a workaholic, like so overly committed to something, it can get toxic, theoretically. It can almost be like a codependency. And I'm kind of getting that because that was clarified by Queen of Pentacles, right? So, yes, in the physical, they are thinking a lot. They're thinking a lot about making a physical presence in your life, taking up a physical presence in your life, making a move that is practical and solid and will potentially lead into this balanced connection, right? This is like fun, smexy, smoke it like a fog machine in the club. And this is like your little homestead cottage with your fireplace. You can have both of these energies. You should have both of these energies balanced. That may take a little bit of a different form for y'all, depending on, your proclivities, your lifestyle, what's going on there. But there's definite balance. There's definite potential for balance here. There's also potential for materialism, obsession, codependency, being stuck, And so I don't know what happened between y'all, but whatever it was, had them feeling a little bit stuck. And so right now, they're in this hanged man energy. They're trying to open up their heart. They're trying to connect to their emotions. They're trying to process what has happened between y'all recently, right? And when they are ready to move forward, they're going to have this hope, this inspiration, this healing, the star. This could be a reference to like 4th of July fireworks. This could be a reference to New Year's Eve fireworks. This could be also a reference to some kind of major transit in the stars. So I don't know if y'all are aware of each other's birth charts. But there might be something there. The star is also a card associated with the sign Aquarius. So there's some Capricorn energy here, there's some Aquarius energy here. And I asked this the stars aligning, right? When they reflect and then the stars align, that does not inherently mean that they're going to act on that inspiration, that they're going to embody that healing, that they're going to move forward. So I asked, are they going to move forward? And we got a Pentacles card, 7 of Pentacles. Yes, they're going to move forward in physical reality. I'm not 100% sure what the timeline is going to be based off of for you, but yes, within the next year, highly likely to reconnect physically. And this 7 of Pentacles is a card kind of like working on something, putting the work in, watching it grow. So they're gonna come in when they're ready to resolve something, to work on something, to watch it grow. When they feel confident that it's worth the risk to them and that they're capable of putting their best foot forward as they're taking that risk. So they have the greatest possibility of things working out between y'all the way that they would like to. But they're trying to temper this energy of like being hyper controlling and trying to manage the results. So they're trying to not do that so much and just focus on doing the work and showing up, and hopefully that leads to the things that they want. And if not, they know all good things in time, and there'll be something else and somebody else. So it seems like there's a lot of maturity going on here. It could be a family member. It could be a family member who's older than you that has some kind of like position of like authority in your life historically, right? We were talking about identity groups and families and having the connection and the differentiation there. It could be some kind of romantic connection. So, if it is familial, I asked about the energy that they're going to come in on with these 7 of Pentacles decisions, moves. And if this is friends or family, then this is going to be just referencing the choice, the intensity, the commitment to making this choice, to attempting to work things out between the two of y'all. And if it is romantic, there's definite romantic energy going on there. Fire in one way or another, commitment in one way or another. And even if it is romantic, it's not like fire gone out of control, because remember, they're learning how to temper. Sagittarius may also be significant here. How to temper things. And the Lovers was clarified by the 9 of Swords and is that the 2 of Wands or the 3 of Wands? 3 of Wands. Yeah. So they're going to make this choice. They're going to put in the action steps that they need to take this risk. But it's like they're making a choice between I don't know if that sounds right exactly. Between this Knight of Swords and this Three of Wands. It's not to say, like, whatever struggles and drama happened in the past are irrelevant and that we should just, like, be bypassing all of that and focus on our dreams, our future, our inspiration, the spirit of it all. But again, I guess this is really about finding that balance and learning how to have that emotional honesty internally and even to, like, share with the people in your lives when it's relevant to them without holding them to some kind of expectation that they're gonna carry that any certain way when they may or may not have even told you that that's possible. Like, you share and then you hold your own. And if they're able to support you through that, then you are grateful for it and you take advantage of it in a gracious way. But because of that independence and because of that emotional honesty, because of that self-containedness that I feel you are developing as well as this other person. It's almost giving that kind of like twin flame energy, if that kind of thing resonates with you at all. Where somebody in your life, it's very important for you to go through a certain process of growth in order to inspire them at a distance to go through that same growth. And for you guys to learn how to do that for yourselves without denying the emotions that you have for each other, without denying the attachment that you have towards one another, but just understanding that your attachment is not everything. It's a part of the puzzle, and it's important to acknowledge and to respect. But even more important is to find that inspiration, to look at that future, to think of what it is that makes you excited to reconnect, that makes you excited to work together, what it is that you want to co-create together. Envision that, right? You process your past, you take responsibility for that, and that creates space for you to use words and sounds and images and colors and whatever modality you have available to you to do that type of scripting, to do that type of daydreaming, brainstorming. When Giannis reaches out to connect with you, are you going to be ready? Because it's just as much a responsibility of yours to manage yourself and take care of yourself and prepare for this next opportunity as it is for them. And it may or may not work out the way that you'd like. But again, you need to both be prepared mentally to take that risk and to be okay with it if it doesn't work out, and to be fully committed to go all in with everything that you have to try and make it work. But if it doesn't, to not hold that against each other. And to remain sovereign so that you can come into this like real balanced love. Love isn't really a choice if we're desperate for it. Love isn't really a choice if we're unwilling to let somebody else go because it's better for them. You know? That's not love, that's control. The lovers is the choice. But it's not a choice you make for somebody else. It's a choice you make for yourself. And oftentimes that has to do with a lover. And very well may. All right, I hope that was helpful there. Let me see here. Oh, you're a Sag and he's a Virgo. Yeah, there's so much fire and earth there. That's so interesting. Hello, Blessed Dawn. Welcome, welcome. I keep seeing stars at night. Yeah, maybe the stars will speak to you and let you know. He's more materialistic You're a little bit more of a spiritual homebody. Yeah, well, that means that it's very important for both of you guys to find balance before it's even possible. I mean, I'm sure it's possible for you to connect, but sustainable? If you really care about somebody, you want it to be sustainable in the connection, right? For your sake and for theirs. All right. Yeah, I would definitely say there is love there. Everything that I read into today, I would definitely say there is love there. There is the kind of love where you're willing to stand up and do hard things and do real things, like put in work. There is love in the like fiery, starry eyed, like romantic type of energy. There's a lot of love here. It's balanced, but it's not grounded. So the work of grounding that potential is important for both of y'all. And it's quite possible that he reflects, comes to this realization, and then just gets caught up in fear and insecurity and self doubt. And it's not for you to rescue him from that. So, yes, well, there's a great likelihood of him reaching out within the next year. And it is worth exploring if you feel called. And there is love there. Just because there is love there doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work out the way that you're hoping. But just because it's not necessarily going to work out the way that you're hoping doesn't mean that you should try to stop dreaming. Yeah, that is the message here. Keep dreaming. If nothing else, just to block out your own nightmares, like to inspire yourself. And if you don't have the kind of self-love where you're able to receive that rejection from somebody that you love without holding it against them, then you aren't ready to be in a sustainable connection anyways. But yes, there is love here. There is love here. Just try not to treat each other like puppets on strings, and I think you'll be okay. Yeah, let me get the next one. Who? Blessedone. Okay. Who is coming in to their energy in the near future? Spirit, please allow me to channel a message for Blessedone in alignment with their greatest and highest good. Balance with that of the collective at large. Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, you did say who, right? Who is coming? Can I get a clarifier? Okay. Well. One more, please. Wow. Okay. Blessedone. Who's coming towards you? A hot mess. A piece of work. Somebody exhausting. Maybe just, you confront yourself. You realize you're overworking yourself. You come face to face with yourself and the reality of yourself. That's possible. Maybe this is just a force in your life, like a coworker, a client, a neighbor, somebody closely involved in your life that puts a lot of burden on your plate. And when you have that experience of having a bunch of burden put on your plate, you're going to have this tower moment where you're like, I cannot keep doing this. I don't care how much I want to be a good person. You're just absolutely a piece of work. And I cannot handle this, and I will not handle this. And either you or some other circumstances are going to bring this energy to an end. It's going to come into your life soon, but it will exit your life. And if it doesn't naturally exit your life, you will naturally feel inspired to exit it from your life. You know what I mean? And you will come into this space of hermitage. You may already be a homebody or a cave person or an introvert or whatever, but this is definitely speaking to a higher level of introspection and, committing to, I'd rather be alone than in this toxic, ridiculous dynamic. So in your near future, you have something pretty challenging coming up, I would say, but it's necessary. You need to be tested by the fire. You need to be tested by the fire. And then you need to fall to the bottom of the well. You need to hit your rock bottom to purify your heart, to purify the gold of your heart. Ace of Cups, King of Wands. Tell me, Blessedone, are you attracted to males or like masculine presenting or masculine energied individuals? Because this could be you or them. But this is definitely giving like a romantic interest. Are you romantically interested in people? Is that something that you're open to? Are you asexual? There could be some other interpretations there. But yeah, absolutely. Just given the context of the previous cards and these coming out together, there's so much fire and water here. This is just like fire and earth and maybe air. It's just like scorched earth. But this is like a hot cup of tea. This is like nourishing. This is like comforting. This is like also exciting. Like, I think it's interesting. This is 9 of Wands in the near future. And then this is a 10th wand. And I guess the 10 of Wands is almost like the end of the line, Like, you tried so hard. It's almost like not giving up, but it's like you just collapsed at the finish line. And you have had, where did I put it? You have had a lot of this energy of fire, of people's like freedom and independence and individuality and standing up for themselves and demanding their desires be met and all of this kind of thing. It's like you've had a really dark, negative, overwhelming experience with fire energy. This may just be romantically, this may be with people everywhere you go in your life. I mean, there's the hermit there, right? So maybe you're just like sick of people in general. You're like, is everybody this? Is everybody just here to burn me? Is everybody here to just like use me up until I have nothing left? Like I'm trying, I'm burning here, but like, do you want to just watch me set myself on fire to keep you warm? Why are you doing that? That's disturbing. What the heck? And so you may have some kind of resistance to masculine energy. You may have some kind of resistance to independence. You may have some sort of resistance to people standing on their beliefs. You may have some resistance to this, like, kind of getting like Aries energy. But this is not leadership. This is kind of the opposite. This is like somebody trying to play the leader while also using you to do all the work and then taking all the credit for it. But as you go through this painful and necessary self-reflective process that all of these asshats have been inspiring you towards, that purification is going to allow you to see the difference, to untangle some things, to understand that not all fire energy is the same. And in this like healthy expression of King of Wands, like elevated Leo energy, you're a light in the dark. You're a leader. You have knowledge and wisdom that you can share. You can help assist people. This is like, please do everything for me. Please help me. And this is like, hey, can I help you? 46:46 on the clock. Hey, can I help you? Do you need some help? I've got a minute. I've got an extra hand. I spent all my free time building up my muscles so that I could have the energy and the strength to help you with this thing and finish my thing faster. And you want to talk about my thing? Yeah, let's do this together. Oh, you built this? You think this? You want this? That's so cool. Tell me more about that. Let me tell you more about mine. You know? There may be something about Sag, Aries, Leo, but no matter what the placements in y'all's charts are, this is about like opening yourself up to a different kind of love. And evolving your relationship with the energy of fire. So that's a sweet and sour reading, I will say. You're welcome. Hello, Saved by Jesus Heart. Welcome to the family. Hello, lovers. Happy 4th of July. Ah, exactly. You really love him, but want him to come back and put the effort in. You wouldn't want him to come back without putting the effort in. I mean, I know you want him to put the effort in, but you wouldn't want him to come back if he's not ready to put the effort in, if you really love yourself. And if you don't really love yourself, then you don't really love him. A little confronting, but it's the truth. Why is my mom distracting me from studying all day? Yeah. Spirit, can we ask, why is his mother distracting him right now? Them. Excuse me, saved by Jesus. Why? Yes. 8 of Wands reversed. She wants to slow you down. She wants to slow you down. Why would she want to slow you down? 5 of Swords in reverse. Because she doesn't want you competing with her. Or competing with something, with somebody. What's that about? She She wants to be seen as the perfect family. She wants to be seen like everything's sunshine and roses. Why? Why is that? What is this energy coming from their mother right now? Queen of Wands. This is, this can be a little bit of the, not even the devouring mother, but more like the resentful martyr narcissist archetype. I'm not diagnosing anybody. I don't know your mother. I don't think NPD is I don't think it's important for us to talk about. But I think most people have some kind of narcissistic traits. And it's very important and interesting to look into what quality and flavor those have from person to person. But yeah, it's like a desire for magnetism. It could be like, in a negative sense, kind of like attention seeking. Is she jealous of them? Can I get a clarifier on that, please? Is she jealous of them? Why is she trying to slow him down? Her down, them down. Why? Seven of Wands in reverse. Page of Swords. She feels weak, inexperienced, immature, lacking in knowledge or wisdom, or she might feel like you're smarter than her in some way. Possibly. Seven of Wands in reverse. This is a card of holding your ground. It's like she doesn't want you to be able to hold your ground. It's like she doesn't want you to self-differentiate. It's like, that is the devouring mother energy. It's like she would rather you be dependent upon her for what to focus on, what to value, what to think, what to feel, what to believe, who to listen to. It's like she wants your identity to be so wrapped up in her identity that you don't pose a threat to her. Can I get one more, please? Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Five of Cups. Came out with Justice. And the Moon. The Moon is the mother. Justice is like Libra, relationships. Five of Cups as like disappointment, discontentedness. Focusing on spilled milk, crying over spilled milk. I think that your mother has developed a level of defeatism. Feeling beat down by life in some way. Feeling resigned to a dark and depressing worldview. But this relationship is bringing justice and bringing balance into your life in the long run. because you are being called right now. There's a lot of blue and green here. You're being called right now to connect to the truth of your heart in a way that goes beyond all of this subconscious noise, all of these family patterns. I think that there's some generational curse here to break for you. Yeah. We could get into what that is particularly in our next reading, because I don't have enough time to get around to everybody. I think I'm going to have to start asking for donations soon. Let's see. Saved by Jesus Heart. Yeah, if I see it, I will answer the second question. Feel free to post it. Thank you so much for appreciating my time and energy. I appreciate you. I think that you're already getting in the right energy for that whole download that we got for you, right? Yes. Nephew. Maybe my kid's father is in my energy. I mean, your kid's father is definitely in your energy. It's hard to avoid entirely. Uh-huh. What does your nephew want? I don't know. Let's see. It was Blessed down, right? What does their nephew want? What does he want? Can I get a clarifier on that, please? And thank you, thank you, thank you. Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Please and thank you, thank you. Thank you. What does he want? Oh. Okay. Why? How? I mean, that's pretty general, right? Everybody wants that. Ah. Didn't you say he's a burden and a horror? He wants change. He wants something to change. He wants something big to change in a way that's going to bring him a sense of emotional fulfillment. This is oftentimes in other decks, the guy that's standing here, he's got like this greedy face. I want it all. I want it to be mine. I mean, sometimes that's good, but you can't have that Nine of Cups energy, not in a way that lasts anyways. Whatever that looks like. I don't know. You want your parents' attention. You want 5 million, a lifetime supply of ice cream. You want a new puppy. I don't know. You can't have these big changes. You cannot draw in these things, not in a real way, not in a lasting way, unless he works on this little devil. Yes, he is a burden and a horror, and he needs to acknowledge this in himself and think about this a little bit. How you may turn it around. But that's not up to you. That's just something he's going to have to do in his own time, in his own way. And in fact, if you push it, it's probably going to hold him back. That's what I'm getting. Can I get a reading, please? Yeah, feel free to ask. Yep. What is coming towards you this July? Happiness, Maganga? Okay. Piece of cake. Yes, you can. Feel free to. I'll only be on for a couple more minutes, so list your questions, and I'll try to get to everybody that gets in there within the next few minutes. We got Knight of Wands on the bottom of the deck. This is some Sagittarius energy, and I'm gonna be pulling for Happiness, Maganga, 3919. What is coming towards them this July? Spirit, what do they need to hear, see, feel, experience right now? And what is coming towards them this July? Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Can I get some clarification there, please? What is coming towards them this July? Over the next 4 weeks or so, over this next moon cycle, what is coming towards them this July? Is this a person? Is this a challenging circumstance? Is this an internal process? Clarify 9 of Pentacles. Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Clarify King of Wands. Can you please clarify King of Wands? Can I get one more? I don't feel like I'm being nosy or greedy right now. Just sometimes you need. Okay. What's coming towards you in July? I don't know that it's necessarily a person, although there's so many similar cards between this drawing and one of the ones that I did recently that was very much a love reading about meeting some kind of King of Wands archetype in your future. Take that if it resonates. But overall, actually what I'm seeing is at the turn of Cancer to Leo season here, which is late July, like July 20-something. You are going to experience a rebalancing, experience a justice experience. This experience of justice is going to be in relation to home and family, nostalgia. This could even be like a first love or something from your past. Somebody from your past that kind of left a sour taste in your mouth, not like an angry, bitter, kind of like a depressed, disappointed, something that was sweet in your past that left you feeling kind of dejected, disappointed, wished it had worked out a different way. You might be obsessing over this a little bit, or you may have to work a lot to, keep yourself from ruminating over how disappointed you are because of how sweet and genuine whatever this person, situation in your past was. And you're going to find your independence from this rumination, from this obsession. If it's something that's like cyclical, it's a pattern, it's something that you're constantly dealing with, managing, you're going to come to a new level of self-mastery. And it's not going to disappear overnight, but the way you're interacting with that energy is going to start to shift. It's going to start to change in a couple of weeks. Like, no matter what you do or say, it's about you breathing in the air around us. It's about the stars moving around in the sky. Like, you just sit back and chill. You just receive the experience of your life. And you may make a decision consciously on some level to push off from that shore, to move forward, but not in like a forceful way where you're like, I want to be able to say I haven't thought about this situation for 6 weeks, and when I hit that point, I'll feel good about it. It's no. This is gentle. This is open. And you don't even know where you're sailing off to next exactly, but you know enough to know that you're ready to push off from the shore this month. What's gonna take the place of this rumination? You're going to be inspired to put slow, steady work into some creative endeavor, into some project, into something you're inspired to do, and something you're inspired to build on the physical plane. Maybe it's this relationship with this new King of Wands energy, or maybe it's something to do with your career, something to do with service, something to do with charity, you know? You may already know what it is. Maybe it may have been circling you. This idea, this inspiration, this opportunity may have been circling you recently, and maybe in a couple of weeks, something's going to move forward on this project that you've been wanting to initiate, that something was like keeping you back from initiating, and now that you're able to initiate it, there is this natural lessening of the rumination that you've been struggling with. And there will be a death to your previous rumination and a birth towards a new, healthier form of obsession. Healthy Capricorn, right? Healthy, happy Capricorn. All right. Your business. Yes. Well, good luck with that. Absolutely. I wish you all the best. Okay, let's see. Who else do we have? What's coming towards you in love? Jazzy Bella. Okay. Doing a love reading for Jazzy Bella. Death, rebirth on the bottom of the deck. I don't know where you're at in your relationship status right now, but things are changing internally, externally, all the ways. Jazzy Bella, what is moving towards Jazzy Bella in love? Okay. Can we see a little bit about the nature of this person or of this relationship, of this connection, this opportunity? Okay. So, the next energy that's going to be moving towards you in a love energy, Jezebella, they are going to be like intelligent. They're going to have this like youthful, exuberant intelligence, this like student mindset, that's like genuine lust for learning, like this curiosity, this lifelong learner kind of vibe. That may or may not be your vibe, but it's something that you're going to appreciate in them for one reason or another and can help you identify them, you know? They may like to read, they may just like to talk, they may just like to philosophize. They may know a lot about history, but have like atrocious handwriting and spelling and grammar and not the book smarts. But there's something about air energy that's, you know, a youthful air energy. It's this fun, it's this inspiration. It's like a little kid writing a poem or, you know, an essay, whatever. They're mentally engaged. They're active. They're smart. They got they got they got a smexy brain. You're gonna like that. You're gonna be attracted to that. And even though they have this kind of like bookwormy energy in some sense, they're also like fun and magnetic. Once they get comfortable with you and they let their walls down, there's something about them that like is like gold. It's like glittery. It's like shiny. It's like it amplifies whatever light is given to them. They amplify it tenfold, and people value them for that. Maybe sometimes they're taken advantage of because of that, and maybe they really are in this bookworm energy. Like maybe they're a little bit reserved. And maybe you're going to have to work through that. But when you when you come into a connection with them, when you find that flow and that trust together, you're going to see more and more and more of this Queen of Wands aspect of them. Male, female doesn't matter. Yeah, so they're fiery. They're passionate. They're passionate and they're intelligent. But they're also working on something right now. It may be distracting them from romance and love and your attention. You may have to get this person's attention. I'm not recommending any runner-chaser dynamics ever. I'm just saying they may need a little encouragement. Let's say. Okay? And you are going to have to decide whether or not to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more masculine, a little bit more forthright, like a little bit more, I'll show you mine and then you show me yours. Like, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to take some vulnerability here. I'm going to submit to your energy and risk, you know, falling on my face and making a fool out of myself, right? Because I want to share my appreciation of you. And whether or not that brings something to me that I want, I just want to share with you how much you inspire me, right? You want to make sure you're not over idealizing them and you're not putting them on a pedestal. You want to make sure that you're seeing them for their shadows. But you're going to be you're going to be confronted with this decision to make around this because you really want this potential love opportunity. You're really inspired by their mind and their spirit and their hardworking nature. But I think you work together. I think this may be somebody that you work with, or you have some kind of like relationship to them that may be complicated, may make it something that you struggle with, you know, to pursue this in a romantic energy. So because you're in this space of being conflicted in your near future, you're going to need to take your time and make sure you're really feeling solid about what you want to do before you move forward, because it is going to have wide-reaching effects. It's going to have real effects on your life if you take this risk. And you just have to make sure you're not going into it blindly. Right now we have all of this Mars, Uranus energy going on, and it's really crazy. It's really intense, and it's going to make you move. You can't stop it. It's going to make things move. It's going to make things express. It's going to make things clear. But you don't need to rush it. You don't need to push, because the universe is already pushing. So try your very best. Take a breath. Take your time. Keep it moving. But if you feel like you're moving from a space of rushing, stop. And if you feel like you're not moving from a space of rushing, keep it going. Encourage it. Like, build it up. Make it work. Make it go. Push it. But most likely you're going to feel rushed and overwhelmed often. And so be willing to take a really long time. Be willing to potentially fail. Be willing to potentially look bad. Be willing to do anything just to make sure that you're moving forward from a grounded place where you really are able to take full responsibility for the choices you're about to make. Because they're going to have consequences. And they might be fun and good. They're probably going to be a mix of both, right? All right. Will your ex come back to you? Hello. I don't know who Jithin is, so I can't answer that. Sorry. Miles! Will my boyfriend... Oh, man. We have a couple of love reading requests right here, but we're at 77:44 on the clock. I have to get going for something at 4:30, and I have to use the restroom, and I haven't eaten. So I'm going to take my own advice, and I'm going to go take care of those things, okay? But everybody who has love reading requests, which I think there's only like 2 or 3 left, please come back and see us in the future, and I would love to read with you guys. This has been so fun. So keep an eye out for the live icon. Miles, I've had insane stuff going on, but I will reach out to you too soon. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Love, light, peace, and personal responsibility. I will see you next time.